bag lately, getting cash, baby. So don't you act like you been here from day one. Graduated from a sip, turned into a big boss. Now she see me getting rich, cause I'm about to take off. Yeah, my life is like a movie, this is only take one. Yeah, and I ain't got no time for no one with fake love. Where the love go? I don't know, but I need something that's for real. She just want designer, red bottoms in the hills, California. She just want the limelight, gold digger. She gon' see me when the time's right.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Element Games here, back with you for another video, and today we're going to be making a video. Basically today's upload is going to be a full in-depth guide for Dokkan Battle. I know there's going to be a lot of beginners trying to start the game. 6-year anniversary is coming in a few days, so obviously I want to help a lot of these players with a lot of different things that maybe we had trouble with when we were starting. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video and this video was helpful, make sure you guys share it, like, and subscribe. Obviously on our way to 1K. And nothing too special, something quick. So yeah, let's move on straight to the video. Should be very helpful for a lot of you guys. So yeah, let's go. Alright, so the first thing I think that would vastly help a lot of beginners starting the game would be to discuss, the characters, obviously, right? The characters in the game are obviously an essential part to what the game actually is. Obviously, characters are important in any game. Individual characters include many things like certain typings, leader skills, rarities, and a lot more that I'll try to get into in this segment. First of all, to get to our characters, let's click onto the team icon on the bottom, and then from there we can go onto the character list, and then that's where we can find all of our characters that we have. In the beginning, you won't have that much characters, obviously, because you're just starting the account, but with time your account can look pretty good, actually, kind of like how mine looks right here. For an example, for what we're going to be talking about this segment, I'll go on to my LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which is right here. And yeah, so now when we click on them, we can see the character stats, their typing, and a lot more here. So when I'm talking about typing, what I'm talking about is on the top left, you'll see it says right here, Super AGL. The super part can change depending on the character, sometimes being super, but also sometimes can be extreme. For example, if an extreme character I could find here, right here, this baby, he's an extreme character instead of the Goku being super. If a character has a super on them, that means they're like a hero character or like a good guy, I guess protagonist type character. But if they have the extreme, that would mean they're a villain, basically. So, I mean, if you've watched the show or read the manga or whatever, you guys should pretty much know what super and extreme would be. Also, under the word the super, we can also see that we have the letters AGL. AGL is one of the 5 main typings in the game. This would include AGL, STR, Int, Physical, and Tech. AGL being blue, STR being red, Int being purple, Physical being yellow, and then Tech being green. We can sort these typings, actually, if we click off the character here, and then we go to this bottom, this button on the bottom right. And for me, it says rarity, but it might say something different for when you guys are starting the game. But yeah, we can go there, and we can sort these typings. So basically, if we wanted to, for example, to find our Super Saiyan 4 Goku I was talking about, we can sort by super class right here, and then we can also click on AGL. We press OK, and then we can get to our Super Saiyan 4 Goku pretty easily. So yeah, that's pretty easy. A pretty easy way to sort characters. A pretty good method there. Next, we can find on the top left, the very top left, we can see that the character has 2 letters which say LR on him. This basically segues into our next topic, which is rarities. Currently, LR is the highest rarity in the game, which also means it's most likely the highest difficult to obtain. In Dokkan, there is a total of 6 rarities, and this would include the N rarity, the R rarity, the SR rarity, SSR rarity, UR rarity, and the LR rarity. A lot of these rarities may be familiar to a lot of people who have played gacha games in the past, obviously, but for those who haven't, this is definitely helpful. Now, if you click back on our Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Obviously, we have him here. We can see on the bottom right, we can click onto the character details. It says details list. Here, there's a lot of stuff that we see, but I mean, I know all of this is confusing, but we're not gonna care about all that stuff. We're gonna move on from that, and we're gonna go down to the categories, because that's something else I also want to bring up with characters. Categories are used in Dokkan to, well, I mean, categorize the characters, right? For example, we can see that this Goku, I guess the first category we see here is the Goku family category. And, you know, maybe you might be thinking, hey, you know, I wanna go find all the characters on that one category, because, you know, I mean, I feel like you're obviously gonna want to do that at some point. So if we click off the character, we can also go to the same spot where we sorted our characters to Super AGL. And then if we go to the filter select tab right here, and we go to select category, we can scroll down, and once we scroll down here we can see Goku's family. Now this goes for every category. You can scroll and find which category you're looking for. But yeah, as we click here, we see the whole Goku's family team. And yeah, so now we have a Goku family team. It's, you know, say you wanted to run a team, like say you wanted to make a team with all these characters on it. Well, I mean, if you want to run a team, it's very important to know how to build a team. You can't just throw any random units on a team and then it'll just be good. Like, that's not how the game works. In this game, we have leader skills, which is very important. You definitely want to know this, because this is definitely something that tripped me up in Inferno when we were first starting the game. So I definitely want you guys to pay attention to this part specifically. Every unit in the game has a leader skill. And for example, if we click onto our Super Saiyan 4 Goku, we can find the leader skill right here, right under where the level of the character is. And basically, his leader skill is the Goku's family leader skill, which means that any characters in that category, they'll be getting buffs that he provides on his leader skill. If you don't have these buffs, a character that is like very good could be very bad, because they're not getting any leader skill buffs, and that's how important leader skills are. So basically, you know, we're able to categorize our characters into this category, the Goku family category. So let's actually build a team now to show you guys what I mean. So to do this, obviously we click off our character list, and then we'll go to the team button, and there, what you want to do, you want to press the change all button, and basically this is like an edit button, and doing this, you know, we'll be able to edit our team. Let's do that. So yeah, we click the button and we find all of our characters here on the Goku's family team. And basically, if you guys don't have your thing sorted already, just make sure to do that. But now that is sorted, we can pick our leader character. So it's very important that when you're picking your leader character, if you're wanting to run the Goku's family team, for example, let's just use the Goku's family team because we've been talking about it. You're going to want to pick someone with the Goku's family leader skill. Now, I guess we were just talking about him, but this Super Saiyan 4 Goku has the Goku's family leader skill. So obviously, we'll use him as our leader character. Now, it's very important that you guys put this guy as your first character in the first slot, or else it won't count as a leader. The leader is always going to be the first character there, so make sure you're always putting them there. That's definitely very important. And now, basically, we can just pick any units we want. I'm just going to throw some random units on here, and, you know, voila, we got a Goku's family team. So yeah, you just press confirm there, and yeah, we've got ourselves a team. But do be careful that we do have this feature in the game called team cost, and every team it's different for every player. As a beginner, you're gonna have a lot lower team cost than I do. If you see up here right above our team, I have 518 team cost. You're gonna have a lot lower than that. So what you're gonna want to do is, you can actually see this on the characters on your team. You can see what their cost is right here. Basically, you can see their cost. You have to make sure your cost does not go over the max amount of cost that you're able to put on a team. That way you can actually use the team, because you won't be able to run the team in events if your cost is over. This basically just, I guess, makes it so you don't run full LR teams from like the get-go. You actually work towards it, you know, stuff like that. So that's, I think that is the reason why they implemented that feature. So just be careful with that. Have that in mind when you're trying to make a team. But yeah, that's pretty much it for characters and team making and all that stuff combined. That was pretty much the gist of that. So now we'll move on to our next segment. Story is very important when it comes to this game, for a beginner specifically, because it's a good way to get a lot of stuff like Dragon Stones, which I'll go more in depth with in the future. The story isn't the most interesting thing in the game, I definitely would have to say that, and it's quite long actually. Most people don't really like playing it because of how boring it is, but I'd advise to do so. As a beginner, you're going to want a lot of Dragon Stones going into the anniversary banners, and then with the story, you'll be able to get a total of 675 Dragon Stones, which is amazing. So make sure to play the story because it's a good source of stones and other things as well.
Alright, so next we're going to be talking about events. There are many events in Dokkan to talk about, and I'll only be addressing a certain ones because some of them are very late game, and for a beginner it doesn't really matter, you don't have to worry about them. Events are found after you press the start button on the home screen and you press the event button right here. Now, it takes you to a page with 4 different sections. There is the story, there is the growth, there is the challenge, and then there's the Z battle. Now, let's talk about them in order. Story events go through the original story of Dragon Ball, all split up into different events. There's different events here, as you can see. Like, for example, let's look through a couple, actually. So we've got the Universe 2 fighters, we've got Universe 11, we've got the Battle of Gods movie, Zero Mortals Plan, the DBZ Broly movie, like, first beginning part, Android 13 movie, the BoJack movie, Universe 6 versus 7, like, stuff like that. So, very important to know. Now, story events are known for, basically, they usually have grindable characters, free-to-play characters that you can grind, and that you're able to awaken, and for free, all for free, which is nice. And, let's actually look here. For example, we have this, in this Android 13 event, we have Android 14 and 15 that are free SSRs that you can awaken with medals, and they awaken into a free unit. A free unit that's really good. That unit's actually really good. So, free-to-play units, you need to know this type of stuff because you need to grind free-to-play units as a beginner. It's like actually essential to do. So, please do that. Okay. Let's move on. Growth events. Growth events are strictly usually for resources. And by that I mean just anything that can help your account in terms of, well, yeah, resources. They're usually daily events that you can get different items from, such as Zenny, hidden potential orbs, training items, awakening medals, and skill orbs. So just go through a little bit of them. So yeah, that's all of them. That's all I have to say though. You just look at what they do, and you can see what you can get from them. It's not that hard to see. And yeah. I forgot to actually mention, VPN gives you EXP. That's a massive rank EXP to rank up. So actually make sure to do that. Make sure to check that out. Alright, challenge events. Challenge events, as you would expect, are harder events in the game. This includes Dokkan events. So let's go to Dokkan events. So Dokkan events are all these events. All these events down here, these are all Dokkan events. Just different characters that awaken. They're all Dokkan Festival exclusive characters. That's what these are. So they include Dokkan events where you can get medals to awaken characters. Boss Rush. Let's move up to Boss Rush and look at that exactly. Where is that at? Boss Rush. Boss Rush right here. Boss Rush is just basically a bunch of Dokkan events mashed into one stage where you can get a lot of Dragon Stones. Like, if we look here, we can look here. The first stage gives you 5 stones. This first stage, second difficulty gives you 10. The second stage gives you 20. The second difficulty of the second stage gives you 30. Then the third stage gives you 30. The fourth stage gives you 30. Fifth stage gives you 35. And so on. All give you 35. So a lot of stones to get from Boss Rush. Now, besides Boss Rush, we have... Let's look at the harder events. Super Battle Road. Very difficult. We're not going to talk about that because it's too difficult for a beginner. We have the Fighting Legend Goku. Same thing. Too difficult. Infinite Dragon Ball History. also too difficult, but these are just very difficult events that beginners don't really have to worry about. But they can also give good rewards as well, so it's a good challenge for people who are late gaming. So once you feel like your account is pretty good, I would say take them on. It's pretty fun. There's also Prime Battles. There is a Prime Battle out right now. These are free LRs that you can only use grindable characters. So free-to-play characters that you have to grind up yourself. Those are the only characters you're able to use in this event. And they get you a free LR. You can get a free LR. It takes a long time to do because you need 777 medals to awaken it. So it takes it's possible to get it done in one day. I usually get these done in one day when they come out. But if for someone who's new, it's not gonna take usually it should take weeks. It should take weeks, but I just grind. I grind too hard, so it takes me very quickly. But you shouldn't have to. There's no need to worry about that. Don't worry about that. All right, finally, let's move on to Z battles. Z battles are something that new players shouldn't really worry about, but in the long run, you might actually want to know about them. So they consist of events where you basically awaken characters that are old to make them seem more modern in terms of their passive skills, their super attack effects, their stats, and stuff like that. So, for example, we've got this Broly here. This Broly already has a card. He already awakens and all that, and he was okay. He's an okay unit, but you give him an Extreme Z Awakening, and what that does is allows the unit to feel much better. They feel basically like a modern unit again, which is very good. It's one of the best things Dokkan has ever done. Although they are pretty difficult for new players because you're required to use specific teams in order to beat them. So I wouldn't really bother worrying about this until you have a lot of units in your box. And there's obviously more events to talk about. For example, there's something called Battlefield. There's Peton Battle. There's World Tournament. There's a World Tournament out right now. And Chain Battle, but we're not going to talk about those because those events are also, a lot of these difficult events are just too much for new players to worry about. I wouldn't really worry about them since this is a beginner's guide. It's not necessary to know, but that's pretty much all I got to talk about for events. Not too difficult to understand there. Like I said, story events, grind them up, grind the free-to-play units, and your count will slowly but surely get much better. But that is it for this part, and I hope this helped people. If you have any more questions, just make sure to ask. I've been saying this in all the parts. So yeah, we're going to move on to the next part of this guide.
Next, we'll talk about the currency of Dokkan. There are many different currencies in the game, but right now I only want to explain the most important ones that you're going to want to know. That would include Dragon Stones, Zenny, tickets, Baba Points, coins, and Friend Points. Dragon Stones are probably the most essential one, I would say, aside from Zenny, I would say, in the game. Dragon Stones are the currency that you're going to use to summon for characters. So those are basically how you're going to get your characters. You got to have Dragon Stones to get your characters. Zenny is pretty much used almost everywhere. It's a very important currency in the game. This will include leveling up characters and also awakening them as well. It costs Zenny, so make sure you have Zenny. It's definitely very important. There are many places where it can be used, but those are probably the most important ones, I would say. Tickets can be obtained from various places like login bonuses and missions, and you can usually be used to summon for characters as well, but occasionally you'll also be able to use tickets to exchange characters in the Baba shop, but I'll go more in depth with that in a later segment. Baba points are used in the Baba shop, obviously, and are used to get various different items there. So like I said, I'll talk about more about that when I get to the Baba shop segment. Coins are obtained from summons. So basically when you're summoning, after each summon that cost Dragon Stones, I have to keep that in mind, that cost Dragon Stones, you'll be able to get coins from the summon, and basically those can be used in the Baba shop to exchange for premium characters. Lastly, we'll talk about the friend points, and these are used for the friend summon, which actually includes 3 LRs on it, which is very nice. These are completely free to play as well. They are usually obtained from using friend characters when challenging different events, and so basically you'll usually rack up the friend points over time just by playing. It's pretty easy. Like I said before, there are a lot more currencies, but I'll go more in depth with them in the later segments. So for now, let's just move on to our next one.
Alright, in Dokkan, you can obtain characters by summoning on what we call banners, in gacha terms. That's the best way to explain the term, because, I mean, I don't know what you would call this. The best way to explain it is we call them banners. And the banners are basically these little banners, I guess you would say, that you see here, and you can, do summons on. If you already play gacha games, you know what a banner is, you know the gacha terms, but if this is your first gacha game, it's good to know what a banner is. Now, in order to get to the banner screen, you start at your home screen, right? That's where you start out when you start the game. You just press the summon button right here. That's all you gotta do, and you're at the banners. Now, from here you will see a list of banners that you can use your different currency to summon on in order to get characters. Now, most banners in Dokkan require Dragon Stones to summon with, but there's different types of banners as well where they don't require Dragon Stones. They might require tickets or something like that. Now, first off, in order to get Dragon Stones, right, you can just get them by playing the game as a whole. This includes completing stages to all types of content, including story mode, Dokkan events, story events. You can also get Dragon Stones through missions, so make sure to complete as many missions as you're able to do, because the stones do rack up. Now, to summon for one specific character, you just press the single summon button right here. So a single summon allows you, it costs 5 Dragon Stones, and you are able to summon one character. Now, you can get a bunch of different rarities. You could get a R rarity, which means rare. You can get an SR rarity, which is super rare, or you can get an SSR rarity, which is super rare. So, whether it's not your rates on this banner, on pretty much every banner, would be 10%. So you have a 10% chance at SSR. That's the best rarity, the one you want to try to get pulled. That's the one you want. Then a 60% chance of an SR and a 30% chance of an R. So you're looking for the SSRs. That's why they have the lowest rates. They just want to pull those. But yeah, that's what you want to pull. Now, multi-summons allow you to summon for 10 characters, at least on this banner. There's more specifics behind that, but for right now, we'll talk about this. Multi-summons allow you to summon for 10 characters, and normally they cost 50 Dragon Stones, because, 5 times 10 is 50. Now, on this banner, there's discounts, so this banner is a little bit of an interesting one. Right now, at the moment, there's actually not a single normal banner out, so I can't really show it off, but usually it'd be 50, and you could get 10 units, 10 characters for free. Well, not for free. 10 characters with a free SSR at the end. It's guaranteed. So that's why multi-summons are recommended, but rather than single summons, because you're always guaranteed an SSR. At the 10th unit, that last unit, is always guaranteed an SSR. And you can still get SSRs throughout the multi besides that last unit, but the last one is always guaranteed an SSR. And it's not like you can't get an SSR off a single, of course, but it's just incredibly rare. Now, multis are definitely more, what I would say, definitely more recommended, right? Because you're guaranteeing yourself something. So I would definitely save up your Dragon Stones until you get 50 so you can do multis. Now, Dragon Stones aren't the only way to summon, right? We've got summon tickets and we've got friend points. Summon tickets are usually obtained through login bonus and missions. They're usually free. Yeah, you usually get them for free, and you can sometimes get them through the Pilaf's Trove, which is not. Is it out right now? I don't think it's out right now. Pilaf's Trove is not out right now. Yeah, they usually only release them during Dokkan Festival banners, but we'll talk about that later. Once the anniversary begins, the Pilaf's Trove should be out. So, summon tickets, they're different. They're really different because summon tickets, there's not a specific summon ticket that works on every single banner like Dragon Stones do. There's specific tickets for specific banners. So you gotta keep that in mind. And the amount of tickets needed to do multis on the ticket banners are different. They vary depending on the banner. So, for example, the anniversary banners, they cost 1 ticket to do a single summon and 10 tickets to do a multi-summon. But then the weekend summon here costs 7 tickets to do a multi and 1 ticket to do a single. So does the 6th anniversary ticket summon that's going to be coming out as well in the next 2-3 days, 2.5 days. So they definitely vary. Tickets are usually not the biggest worry though, because they're the most rare out of all the stuff of all the currency for summons. You don't see them as much, but when they do come out, they are free, so it's always nice to have. And the last currency that we use is friend points for summons. So friend points are a little bit different because there's literally only one use for them from what I can tell. You really just use them for this specific banner right down here. So this banner is a friend summon banner where you can summon for friend points are completely free, by the way. You get them from login bonus and you get them from using friends on the friends list. So they are completely free. Completely free. You don't have to worry about spending a dime or anything. So in order to do a single summon on the friend banner, you need 200 friend points. In order to do a multi-summon, you need 2,000 friend points. So you rack those up over time. When you're starting out, you don't have that much, but when you start playing for a while, you start getting a lot, and then you're able to just summon a bunch on the banner. So there's 3 LRs here, right? So there's the Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, Hercule, and Android 17 and 18. They're all LRs, so you want to definitely try and get them, and they're free, so you know it's very nice for beginner players. The free LRs, they're not the craziest LRs, but they're definitely going to help you out when you're starting out. They're definitely going to help you out, and you also can get Hercule statues when you summon on this banner. That's why it's also a pretty good banner for that reason. So moving on from friend summons, so we've talked about ticket summons, talked about normal Dragon Soul summons, and we've talked about the friend summons. Now we move on, and we're going to talk about all the different types of banners there are. So there are Dokkan Festival banners, there are legendary summons, there are category banners, there are type banners, and there are step up banners, and then there are friend summons, double rates banners, and then ticket banners. There could be even more that I'm missing out on, I'm just forgetting at the moment, but those are pretty much the those are the most, like, what should I say, the most common, the most important to know. So Dokkan Festival banners are one of the most valuable banners in the game. They feature Dokkan Festival exclusive characters, and these characters tend to have the best leader skills to start building formidable teams. There are usually 7 featured SSRs on the banner, although whenever the main featured character is an LR, which means a legendary rare, there tends to be 10 featured SSRs on the banner, making it more difficult to pull the specific one you want. Now, on to the next type of banner. Legendary summons feature 1 or 2 LRs. Most of the time it's 1 LR, but in certain situations, during anniversaries and during big celebrations, the worldwide download celebration, there are 2 LRs featured on the banner. Now, legendary summons, they usually have 12 featured units on the banner, making it insanely difficult to pull the specific one you want, the specific LR that you want, but that's why they are not recommended to summon on, because most of the featured units are very bad, they don't have good leader skills, and they're pretty much useless. Can't really end up using them. Double rates banners though, we're going on double rates here. Double rates banners are banners that have double rates. There's usually 2 double rates banners every year, and one of them functions similar to a legendary summon banner with 12 featured units, except the only difference is that there is double rates, right? So instead of 10% SSR rates, there's 20%. So it's a good time to pull a lot of SSRs. And lastly, there is the other type of double rates banner that it's more like a normal banner, because instead of having a legendary unit, an LR, it just features 2 new units, just 2 new UR units, ultra rare units. So instead of getting the top rarity, you're getting 2 of the second top rarity. So it's not that bad, not that bad. Now, the banners are usually okay, and they're not necessarily recommended, but they are at the same time, because the legendary summon versions of them, the ones that feature an LR, are very good, because you can pull a lot of LRs. Your chances of pulling a lot of LRs are very high. But the other version of it, where it's just 2 new units, I wouldn't recommend it because, I mean, you can get LRs off of it still, but you're not summoning for a featured LR, you're summoning for just two normal units that usually when they come out don't even have Dokkan Awakening, so that's why we don't recommend summoning on that one. That banner for global usually comes out during the early months, I believe it's the early months of the year, towards like March, April, and then the other one's during Christmas. That's the one you want to summon on. The one during Christmas is the one you want to summon on. And the other two banners that we were talking about is the category banners and the typing banners. They are very similar to each other. The category banners feature units only from a specific category, like this one, for example. The Connected Hope category summon only has units from the Connected Hope category. And as you can see here, you can summon 3 times, 3 multi-summons for 30 Dragon Stones. So you get a discount for only 3 multis, but it is nice to have a discount like that. And then for type banners, I don't think there might be discounts on type banners. Type banners don't come out often at all, so I wouldn't really care about that, to be honest. But they work basically exactly the same, except instead of category units that are on the banners, it's just specific typing. So there'll be banners like, for example, there's a typing banner that only has AGL units on it, or STR, whereas category banners, there's only units that have Connected Hope category, or maybe Pure Saiyan category. It just depends. And usually they come out based on what Extreme Z Battle is coming out with a celebration. That's a little bit more advanced stuff, so I wouldn't really mind it. But all I gotta say is don't summon on those banners. Those banners are not worth it. They're very bad. They do feature LRs, but I would not recommend it. And okay, let's move on to the best value type of banners. The best value type banners are step-up banners, right? Step-up banners, at the end of the step-up, you are guaranteed an LR character, and it only takes 300 stones to go through the entire steps. So you're guaranteed an LR for only 300 stones, whereas it would usually take a lot more than 300 to pull an LR, because they're usually pretty rare to get, right? Now, you're also guaranteed something on every single step of the step-ups. You're like, for example, you're usually guaranteed an Extreme Z Awakenable character, someone who has an Easy A. You're also guaranteed someone that is a super class leader, or an extreme class leader, or a category leader. And then the last step, you're guaranteed an LR. So these banners are the best value banners, and they only come out once a year during New Year's. They're the New Year's step-up banners, and they're very good, very, very good. And I guess there is one last banner that I want to talk about, but it's not too crazy different from normal Dokkan Festival banners, so that's why I didn't really talk about it too much. But there are dual Dokkan Fest banners that come out every so often. They come out during, like, the anniversary banners. That's a dual Dokkan Fest. The Worldwide Down Celebration in August is a dual Dokkan Fest. And then there's Golden Week slash, I guess for global you'd call it the Thank You Celebration. That is also dual Dokkan Fest. Basically, it's literally the same as a Dokkan Festival banner, except there's just two. There's two at the same time. So that's all I gotta say about the different types of banners. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out important. Of course, if there's any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Of course, we can answer anything that wasn't really explained well or needed to be explained further. But that's it for me when it comes to banners. So yeah, let's move on to the next section of the guide, and I hope you guys keep enjoying. Alright, so grinding stones, grinding dragon stones is going to be a very important part for a lot of new players, I imagine, because they're going to want a lot of dragon stones to summon for the new characters that will be featured on the 6th-year anniversary Dokkan Festival banners. Now, grinding stones is a pretty easy task, but at the same time it can be very tedious, because you really need to put in a lot of hard work, and you need to put in a lot of effort. Now, what I mean by that is, all you're doing is you're just completing stages. You're completing missions, and that's all you gotta do. But there's so much to do that you might get bored easily. That's what I mean by that. So you really need to, like, put the time and take the time and really make sure that you're actually getting the full benefits of your time, and do not waste your time grinding for just a couple of stones. Now, there's so much stuff to do in this game, right? So much you can grind. You might be wondering where to start. Now, for beginners, I would recommend starting with the story mode because it's the easiest content in the game and it's pretty lengthy, so it allows for a lot of Dragon Stones. In fact, you can obtain a total of 675 Dragon Stones from the story mode. That's super crazy because 675, that's a hefty amount of stones to summon on a banner. You might have a good chance at pulling one of the new legendary rare characters, whether it's UI Goku or if it's Evolution Blue Vegeta. So when the anniversary banners come out in 2 days from now, they come out at the banners, I assume, come out on the 9th. So they come out soon. So when you're trying to pull them, 675 stones just from the story alone that's gonna be crazy. Now, obviously, you have to do every single stage of the story to do that, and you have to do every single difficulty. That might not be possible for a new beginner because it might be too difficult towards the end of the story. Now, I would just say grind as much as you can, and then once you do all that, I would say move into the story events, the story events section. To get the story events, you just go to the start button on the home screen, then you press the events button, then you go to the tab that says story. Then there's a list of story events that you can play, and story events are just going over the story of Dragon Ball, different types of story, and you're able to get stones from those as well by just completing stages, by completing missions, and over time it'll rack up. And once you're all done with all those story events that are out, I would say you could move over to harder content. Now, if your account's not able to do harder content, I wouldn't stress it, but there's more options. So you can do Dokkan events, which is harder for a new beginner account. There's Super Battle Road, which I would not recommend doing at all. That's way too difficult for a new beginner. There's Boss Rush, which is just basically a bunch of Dokkan events compiled into one stage. And then there's even more, like Infinite History, Legendary Goku event, but we're gonna talk about those later because I mean a lot of those names just might be crazy to you. You have no idea what I'm talking about, but we will have a section on that later. So do not worry, we're gonna be talking about all those events, and yeah, you'll get to know all that stuff. So now that's just a little tips on grinding. It should not be too difficult. Like I said, a lot of stones to grind from the story. That's the easiest content to do, and you should be pretty prepared for the anniversary. Now that you know what to do, make sure to go grind your hearts out, and make sure to try and pull these amazing LRs because you're going to really want them for your account.
Next, let's talk about how to grind characters. Grinding characters is also another way to obtain characters rather than just summoning for them. Doing this, we don't have to spend any of our precious Dragon Stones in the process, saving a valuable resource. The best way to obtain characters for free-to-play players is, I'd have to say, using these story events in the game and any events to grind these characters. Is definitely the best way to get characters free-to-play. Although a lot of free-to-play characters are usually not the greatest compared to the summonable ones, there are definitely some that can be really good options for a lot of different teams. To grind characters, we'll have to go to our event tab on the home screen. So yeah, we'll click on that on the event tab, and basically, once we make it to the event area, we can go over to the story tab, and this is where you'll find most of the grindable characters. If you go through these events, you can also see where all the characters can be farmed in. For example, say we go into this event, the Assemble Warriors of Universe 6 event, we can go down into the details and we can find all these characters here that you can get for free, completely free, just grinding them like that. There are some characters that you can obtain from the challenge tab as well. For example, this Krillin right here can be obtained from the challenge event, but it's a lot harder for a lot of newer players. So I would definitely just keep away from this for now. Once you think you're, ready to do it, I think it's definitely can help. But you can also, if you go to the event details here, you can also obtain this character, and he actually awakens to an LR, which is actually pretty cool. There. Now, to grind a character properly, you want to make sure that you grab 14 copies, and yes, you heard me right, 14. This is because we can use all 14 to unlock the hidden potential paths and level up the character's super attack completely free to play. I'll go more in depth with super attack leveling and hidden potential in the future, so don't worry when you hear that and it sounds confusing. But once you have the characters though, you want to find some way to awaken the characters as well, and you can do that in most events. In the events, not just characters you're grinding, but you're also going to try and grind the medals for the characters, because that is how you'll be able to awaken them. Like I said, I'm going to explain the awakening process and leveling process later in the video, so don't be confused now, do not worry. But yeah, that's basically the gist on how to properly grind up characters. There'll be a few new grindable characters in this anniversary, so do make sure you know how to do it properly and make sure you grind those guys up, because they are going to be pretty good for a lot of different players. So yeah, let's move on to our next segment. Leveling up characters and awakening characters are very important for your accounts. Characters need to be leveled up to be viable to run in different modes and events, but let's show you how to. To level up characters, obviously you want to go to the team button again, and then you're going to click on the training button. And here we can click on basically a lot of different characters that we want to level up. For example, I'm going to go down here, and I have this character in mind. I'm going to go down all the way down here, and I have this Caulifla, an AGL Caulifla down here. Yeah, we'll pick her. Alright, so now we have a few different options we can do. We can level up the character, choose a training location for the character, or even level up our super attack. When you click on the training partners section, this is where we can level up our super attack. Leveling up super attack is important because it allows characters to do more damage on super attacks, but it is also important because some characters have super attack effects which only activate at a certain super attack level. Training locations help because it makes it so you can use less items when training to level a character up, but if you don't have much training locations in the beginning as a beginner, it's okay. The default one should work just fine. Lastly, we have our training items, and we can pick what items we want to level up our characters with. So yeah, you can see all the typings for each character. Obviously, with the typing of the character, if you're, say for example, our Caulifla is AGL, you're going to want to pick AGL for the AGL items that you have, because they're going to be they're going to level up the character faster because they're the same typing. So just do keep that in mind. If you say you have a tech unit, make sure you use your tech items. If you have an AGL unit, use your AGL items. You know, it works the same for every single typing. Personally though, when I like to level up my characters, I just click the auto button right here, because I feel like it just picks the items you need and picks the same typing. It's pretty easy like that. Really quick, very easy. So that's what I like to do. Before we move on though, before we start training our character, do keep in mind that you are going to need Zenny to level up a character though. So yeah, let's level up our character right now. So basically we press begin, and the basically this animation, but you can just tap the screen if you want to go by quicker, and basically there, big success, and you can tap the screen again and the character is leveled up. So yeah, once the character is leveled up, you can see right here, the game will prompt you and ask you if you want to awaken the character. So that's what we're going to do here. So we can see here that we're going to need some medals to awaken our character. Medals are usually obtained over time, so it's okay if you don't have much at the start. But if you have medals, this means that we can awaken our Caulifla. Specifically, it's called Z Awaken. Z Awakening will make our Caulifla go from an SSR to a UR and then raise her level cap. So instead she's at 80 right now, she'll be able to go up to level 100. So yeah, let's Z Awaken her right now. And basically it's the same process as the training right here. So we can tap the screen and tap it again, and you can see she is a UR, and now she has a max level of 100 instead. So basically, yeah, after we Z Awaken her, we also be prompted to level up her up again. So yeah, we can do that right here. I'm going to press auto again, and we're going to level up again. Alright, and we'll do that. There we go. And then now, this is where we get a little bit different with Awakening. So before we were talking about Z Awakening and using medals, but now we can awaken again. And basically what we're going to do here, this is called Dokkan Awakening. And Dokkan Awakening basically includes getting medals from story events or challenge events, different types of events, not just the generic ones you're going to find anywhere. And yeah, basically you use these and they will basically transcend your character, and they'll be able to go to a UR, a transcended UR, and their level cap will go up to level 120, and usually their whole entire passives, their whole kit basically changes from that point. Right now, I'm not going to awaken mine, one, because I don't have enough medals right now, but two, because I want to actually keep this Caulifla as an SSR. But yeah, you can do that, just so you know. That's basically what you're going to do after that. Now, this character, Caulifla specifically, she can actually be easy aid, and I don't want to go too in depth, but we'll talk a little bit about that. Basically, an easy A is where you take a character. For example, we can click on this int GT Goku right here. So basically, yeah, we take this character, and we can see there's more medals, and on the medals it says Extreme Z Battle. And basically, when you play these Extreme Z Battle events, they're definitely for a lot of more well-developed players, not beginners. So you guys won't have to worry about this too much. But when you get to that point, you can also awaken the character, and basically the process is the same. It just further awakens the unit, gives them more stats, and different passive updates to their passive, makes them a lot better. Basically, that's what it does. This is, if you guys have played Dragon Ball Legends, it's equivalent to the Zenkai system in a way. So yeah, that's pretty much that for the easy A. I don't want to go too in depth with there though. So yeah, that part will basically be the same like I said for the awakening. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and that's all you need to know for this segment. So let's move on to our next one.
Alright, items are very, very important in this game. I'm not going to be specifically talking about a couple types of items, not every single item in the game of course, but we're going to be talking about a couple. So there are support items, support memories, keys, and Kais. Now let's start off with support items. Support items are items that you can obtain through missions that are very, not just through missions by the way, missions, stages, and logger bonus. Let me specify that so it's not confusing. So they give out for free, basically, and just playing the game, you get them. Now, support items, they give you different effects in battle that can really help you when you're in a sticky situation, when you're in trouble. So, these effects could be anything from healing, they could give damage reduction, they could cancel enemy attacks, they could lower enemy attack damage, and they could give ki to yourself. So, we're going to look at a couple items here. We're gonna look at a couple here and just show a little bit of what these items can do, because it's good to know. Good to know, have knowledge on what the items do, so you're bringing the right items. So we have a healing item here. This item recovers all your HP and removes allies' status effects. So basically, if the enemy stuns you, if the enemy lowers your attack, does anything crazy like that, locks your rotations, seals you from doing super attacks, you can get rid of it all with the Senzu Beam. A Princess Snake recovers 55% of HP and reduces your damage taken by 30%. Meaning, the enemy will do 30% less damage to you, which is nice. And we have a Whis here that reduces damage by 40% for 2 turns. So you can pop it on 1 turn, and even the next turn, you'll still have the damage reduction. So you'll be taking less damage. And then this Ghost Usher basically delays all opponent attacks, meaning it get rid of all attacks. You won't get hit for that turn. Now, one thing to note with this item is that you can't use this back-to-back turns. You can only use it. You're only allowed to use it once, and then you have to wait a turn, and then you can use it again. So make sure you keep that in mind. Now, as you see here, all items you can only use twice per battle, and for you guys, when you're starting out, you probably don't have 4 item slots. So you have to unlock those by... You can wish it with Shenron. They tell you that in the tutorial of the game, how to use Shenron. Shenron has a wish where you can get more item slots. That's what you want to do. You need to get item slots. Item slots are the most important wishes to get. So make sure to do that. I kind of want to show off an item, right? So we're actually going to go ahead and go into a stage here, and we're going to try and show one off. Let's see. if I can take damage or something like that, then yeah, we can show off an item. Yeah, okay, so we can take damage from this thing. We'll take damage here, and then we're gonna keep moving on to the main fight. And I will show you guys just the effects of items. So let's go here. So you're fighting all these enemies. It's just like, maybe it's too difficult for you. For me, obviously it's not, but if it was, then just keep that in mind. So we're low on HP, so we can use the Senzu Bean and recover our HP back. We get the HP, and now we're back to full HP. And what we can also do is we can give a Ghost Usher, like I was talking about, and all the attacks that are there are gone. So you don't take any damage, then you're just able to just attack freely, and they can't hurt you. So support items, as you can see, can come in clutch insanely well. They're insane. Having support items are very important. And that's pretty much it from the support items part. Now let's move on to support memories, like I was talking about. Now, support memories. They are similar to support items. You can be grinded. They can be grinded from a free-to-play events. Usually just grind them from an event, and then you can use them. That's just basically how it is. In order to use them though, you're gonna need reels, which is it's an item that you can get from the Baba shop. You can buy it, and you need a specific amount of reels to use the support memory. We'll probably put those on screen. Whoever's editing this will put it on screen, I hope, so you can see. So you're going to need those for sure, and then you're able to use them. They pretty much have the similar effects to support items. It's a new mechanic that comes with the 6th anniversary. They're not out right now. They'll be out once the 6th anniversary begins. And the next item we're going to be talking about are keys. Keys are obtainable from login bonus and basically missions exclusively. Dokkan, the devs, the sort of put the admins, whatever you want to call it, they don't really give out keys too often, but they are very useful. Keys are able to let you go back and attempt events that aren't out at the time. That's pretty much all there is to it. Any event that's not out, you can basically go back and do it, even if it's not out, using keys. So make sure it helps for grinding. So like, if there's no events out but you want to grind more stones, that you know there's an event that has some stones in it, just use a key and you can go back to that event and grind stones from there. And last but not least, definitely not least, we're going to talk about Kais. Kais are able to level up super attacks. So we're going to show it off actually right here. So when you go to training, right? Training is where you level up super attack. We're going to show it off right now. So we'll show this cooler, right? We have this cooler who's at level 8 super attack. We want to get him to level 10. So what we can do is we can give him some Kais. So these Kais, these sleeping, dozing Kais, they have a 30% chance to give you a level up super attack. So we're going to use 5 of them and see if we get lucky, and see if we actually get the 2 super attacks that we need, the 2 super attack levels. Let's see, do we get it? We got 1. So one of the 30% chances actually procced in my favor, and we were able to get a super attack. Now there's also this Kai that is 100% chance, the SSR Kais. The SSR Kais are 100% chance to give super attack. Now I'm not going to use it, but just know if I used it, it would have got my super. It would guarantee get me a super attack level. I'm saving them right now, so I'm not going to use it right now. But yeah, that's one. It's an important thing to know. It's really good. So Kais are very rare as well. They are obtained from Baba. You can buy them sometimes in the Baba shop. You can get them from login bonus, and you can get them from camps like social media campaigns as well, and some from missions. So you will get them over time. There's no way to really farm them because they're really valuable, so they don't give them out like that. But they're definitely something that you're gonna want to have in your possession because they come in clutch for. You're gonna want to level up the super attacks of these new anniversary units, right? So they're very useful. So make sure to get Kais. Make sure to use items. Hopefully this helped you learn about items, because I know when I first started the game, the items were very confusing for me. So I hope this helped out some people. And let's move on to the next section in this guide. Alright, so this next section here in the guide is Hidden Potential. So Hidden Potential is an ability that you unlock once you reach rank 50. So if you're not at that rank, there's no need to worry about it. But once you do reach that rank, you're probably going to wonder what it does and how it's going to help you. So this is going to be a little bit of a guide on, a little, like, a short guide, not too in-depth, but a little bit just to help out when you're first starting out. Now, Hidden Potential allows you to strengthen the stats of any UR character. So, if I go to my characters here, we'll go here. They must be a UR or higher. So, this is a UR, right? This is UR in the top left corner. An LR will also work. But, for example, if we go down to here, an SSR, you cannot do Hidden Potential on an SSR. So, only UR or higher rarity can do that. Now, to access the Hidden Potential system, once you go, when you're in the home screen, you just go to Teams, and then you go to Hidden Potential right here. It has the Elder Namekian Great Elder. So just go here, Guru, you know, and you're at the Hidden Potential screen. So, Hidden Potential. In order to do Hidden Potential, you're gonna need potential orbs. Now, in order to get potential orbs, you can get them from social media campaigns, missions, the Baba shop, and there's a specific daily stage that allows you to get them as well. We're going to put that on screen here so you can know. In order to get to that, you just go to the events section and go to the growth tab, and there's a Hidden Potential event. They come out every day based on the typing. So make sure to just do that make sure to complete those stages every day. Now, what are the benefits for Hidden Potential, you might ask? Hidden Potential, like I said before, it can increase a character's stats and special abilities. Meaning you can get critical hits, additional attacks, dodging, increased damage, defense, health, and even extra healing. So make sure you do that, for sure. Make sure you do that. Now, Hidden Potential, you need specific orbs based on the character's typing. So for example, we have this character right here. He is an int character. Int characters need the purple orbs. So all right here, these are all the purple orbs right here. So, I can only use purple orbs on int characters, and I can only use AGL orbs on the, I can only use, I should say, I'll word like this. I can only use blue orbs on the AGL characters, I can only use green orbs on tech, red orbs on STR, and orange/yellow orbs on physical. So, make sure you actually are using the correct orbs for the character's typing. Now, there are 3 different types of orbs. There's small orbs, there are medium orbs, and there are large orbs. So you're gonna need to use all of those in order to Hidden Potential unit. Let's see if I have anybody. Okay, yeah. For example, let's see. Yeah, this Goku. Does this Goku have his? Yeah, his essay is done. So, for example, we use our orbs here, and you can see that we're able to just do all this stuff. We can give. So right here, you're able to give combo attack, which means an additional, or critical hit, which is a critical hit. And as you see, there's these nodes right here that I'm pressing on. They each give something else. You can see the symbols. The red ones give attack, the green ones give HP, and the blue ones give defense. And you're just slowly here giving different abilities to your units. And you can see in the top there where the character is right here. In this top area here, you can see all the abilities. Now, you see that there's a level 14 combo attack there. That means that I have a 28% chance to do a additional attack. The way that it works in this game is that you gain twice as much chance to do something as the level it is. So for example, we have level 3 critical, which means we have a 6% chance to crit. So that's basically how that is. Not too difficult to learn. Now, there's also more to this. For the Hidden Potential system, there's different paths. There's 4 different paths. You can do 55% of this entire board without, just for free. As long as you have the unit, you get completely done. In order to do the other paths, like we just did, like you see this, there's these 4 nodes. We've got this big one right here, this big one right here, this big one right here, and this big one right here. In order to unlock these, you need to get more copies of the unit. So, we're going to show this off right now. So, for example, I have an extra copy of this Goku here. We can go here, select here, and we can use this copy, and what it does, it unlocks the extra path. And what that does, it means we can get more of the board done. So in order to fully max out an entire character's board, you need to have 5 copies, meaning you need to have the 1 copy that you use that you're actually using to do the hidden potential on, and then 4 extra copies, since there are 4 paths. As you can see here, there's 4 paths when you zoom it out. So make sure, if you're going to try to max out your units, you need to pull units more than once. You can't just do it you can't pull a unit once and it's fine. So once you got a unit 100%, we'll look at a unit that's actually actually, let's go back here. Look, a unit that's actually 100% like this. Look at this LR cell. This a unit's 100%. The border here becomes gold. They have a rainbow star signifying that they are 100%, and their stats are really high. They have all the abilities. My cell has a level 18 critical, meaning he has a 36% chance to crit. He has a level 5 dodge. Dodge works differently. The dodge level doesn't double. So if you have 5 dodge, you actually just have a 5% chance to dodge. Because if they did that, it would be really OP. It would just be super overpowered. You would be able to dodge so many attacks. It's just too much. Now, that's about it for the normal hidden potential stuff. I guess I can talk to you about equipment, right? Equipment is used in the hidden potential system. So you're able to, they call it skill orbs, but I like to call it equipment, right? You basically increase your stats by a little bit more. So like I have this attack item on right now. It increases my attack by 500. Then you can go to the silver slot here, and you could get an attack boost as well. And then you can also get here, you can get some critical hits, some healing. The green Goku right there that's healing. And then there's the super attack one as well. So many different equips to get. That's more of an advanced thing. I wouldn't worry about that right now, but that is something you can do. So make sure you can try to get to level 50 so you can unlock this, because this makes your units a lot stronger, makes them able to tank better, do more damage, have more HP. It makes it easier to take on events, so you really want to make sure you're able to do this stuff. So that's enough from me from the hidden potential system. Anything else, if there's more questions you have, just make sure to ask in the comments below, and let's move on to the next section.
The Baba Shop is very interesting because this is where you'll be able to use a lot of different currencies to exchange for items and even characters. To get to the Baba Shop from the home page, you just go to the bottom right, which will have the exchange button, which takes us there. There are 4 tabs at the moment, but the ones you'll most likely be using are the Trade Points tab, the Zenny tab, and then lastly, the Treasure tab. Basically, the names of each tab indicate what sorts of currency you'll be able to use to exchange for items. In the Treasures tab, we can scroll through and we can see that there is definitely a lot of different currencies here. Which you'll basically be able to obtain from a lot of different events and different sources throughout the game. As time goes on, you'll know about this a lot more. So don't be, don't be overwhelmed from the amounts here. A lot of these aren't as important as the main currencies I was talking about earlier in the video, anyway. But specifically, the most interesting ones I would have to say that come from here, if we scroll down here, are the coins. In this game, there is 3 different types of coins. There's a yellow coin, a red coin, and a blue coin. Right currently, we don't see the red coin here. If we go down here, we can see, basically, here's a red coin right here. Yeah, that's basically what the red coins look like. But it's the same. They're all like categorized, I'd say, in the same way. You basically, like I said, obtain these coins by summoning on their respective banners. Yellow coins are obtained from legendary summon banners. Red coins will be obtained from Dokkan Festival banners, and then blue coins will be obtained from other banners like double rate banners, category banners, and a few other types of banners like that. Basically, the other banners that use stones on. You can rack up these coins by summoning to buy powerful UR and LR characters. On the screen, you can actually see a bunch of different characters and the currency, the amounts of currency you'll need to get these characters. So do make sure that you save these up to get any LRs or characters that you would want in the future, because definitely it's a smart idea to save these as a player, because you can really they really do come in handy sometimes when you want a character but you're not getting lucky on a banner, say, so you just let me use the coins to guarantee them. So I definitely do advise trying to save these. There's a lot more we can talk about with the Baba Shop, but as this is a beginner guide, I want to keep it a little simpler for people, so I'd rather not go too in depth with it. So yeah, let's move on to our next segment. I'll stray away from here. There's a lot more, but you know, we'll keep it for another day. If you guys have any questions, obviously, just make sure to ask in the comments. So yeah, let's move on to our next segment.
Alright, we're going to be talking about something real quick here. We're going to be talking about the game schedule, because the game does release events and banners and stuff on a pretty consistent schedule. Now, for events, let's talk about events first. The events are released on a schedule based on typing. So, Mondays are AGL Day, Tuesdays are Tech Day, Wednesdays are Int Day, Thursdays are STR Day, and Fridays are Physical Day. Now, Saturdays are Extreme Class Day, so any villain units. And then Sundays are Super Class Day, so any hero units. And it's important to know that the specific dates of major releases as well, so let's talk about those. Now, considering you're playing the global version of the game, right? The global anniversary is on July 7th or July 8th. It can change from year to year, but I think the official date is July 7th, but sometimes I think it has been on July 8th. And the worldwide download celebration, a celebration where both the JP version of the game and the global version of the game are together and support. They basically celebrate the amount of releases of the game. That is at the end of August. The last week of August is usually when that happens. New Year's celebration is obviously during New Year's. Christmas celebration is during Christmas. Both very major celebrations where they usually have incredible sales, incredible banners, really cool stuff. Like I said before, in a different part, that's where the double rates banners are. So very valuable times to summon. Then there's a thank you celebration that is in November. That's basically just a Thanksgiving celebration that has a dual Dokkan Fest. And then Dokkan Festival banners release about every 2 weeks. Usually they release about 2 weeks. It's the same with legendary summon banners as well. And unless it's a dual Dokkan Festival banner, those are a little bit different. Dual Dokkan Festival banners last usually a month long, so keep that in mind as well. And obviously, I would recommend, just watching YouTube and all that. That can also help you figure out the timings as well. So make sure to check those out. Keep that in mind when saving stones for specific banners that are good to summon on. And take the advice of YouTubers that, they know what they're doing. Because as a beginner, it's difficult to know what is actually worth summoning and what's not. So hopefully the schedule guide actually kind of just does help a little bit of people know exactly what they should be saving for. What are the major stuff to be saving for? So yeah, let's move on to the next part here, and I hope this helped.
Alright, so here are some tips that I have for a lot of different newer players, obviously, starting the game. So, first tip, I have watch YouTubers. I think watching YouTubers are definitely going to help. They'll help you further understand the game. I feel like watching videos about the game you're playing can help you understand things about the game. And it's not just our channel, obviously, although we would love if you guys check out the channel for tips and tricks, obviously. But there's many out there that you can find that are making videos. Obviously, YouTube is a very big place, so I think watching YouTubers is definitely a really good tip. Next tip, number 2, I would say, is to follow the social media accounts. Following the social media accounts is definitely going to help a lot, because you're going to be able to find specific campaigns on the Twitter, the Facebook, or Instagram accounts, and even certain news on newer characters. We'll be able to see super attacks, some stats, and everything that the new characters are doing. So I do advise following the social media accounts. And number 3, I definitely say, this is one of the more important ones, but ask for help. If you ever need help, don't be afraid to ask friends or people who play the game for help. I mean, this includes people on social media, if you're on Discord, or even just IRL, friends that you have. If you need help, just ask. No one's going to, I mean, I hope no one's going to clown you because you're newer to the game. So yeah, and if you even need additional help, just comment on the videos that we have, and we'll try to help you. I mean, I always like to read the comments, and we're always trying to help. So yeah, if you guys have, need help, just ask us too. We're also here. So yeah, that's pretty much my part on tips. Those are just some 3 main tips I think that are going to help a lot of you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the this part of the video.